Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be the second in a series that I'm doing here on my channel where I make by hand, either sewing or knitting, all of the items on my wardrobe wish list. So I made a video kind of explaining all of the items that I wanted to add to my wardrobe, and then I'm going to share with you the process of doing just that. So I can link the wish list video as well as the first episode below. And for today's video, I am going to be sewing a pair of Poplin pants. So last summer I was really inspired by all of the cool, colorful Poplin pants that I was seeing different brands creating and different people wearing, and I decided that I definitely wanted to make a pair for myself. So although it is February currently, there's snow on the ground outside, I really need a little hit of dopamine sewing. I want to make something for the warmer months and I want to make something colorful. I think sometimes in the winter you can kind of get bogged down by all of the layers that you have to put on just to stay warm, and so today I want to treat myself to a little bit of dopamine sewing, and I have a lovely bright fabric that I'm going to be using for this project. I'm going to insert a couple of inspo images here, kind of the feel that I'm going for. I'm not aiming in this video to 100% duplicate these exactly, but this is kind of to give you an idea of what I'm envisioning and what I'm going to recreate to some extent, but not exact. The fabric that I'm going to be using is this lovely bright blue, royal blue cotton poplin. This is a fabric that I purchased from Fashion Fabrics Club. They have a variety of really nice poplins. I've actually purchased quite a few recently to make shirts and other projects. I think it's really affordable and I think the quality is really good and the color selection is really nice as well. So I will be sure to link the fabric itself in case you are also interested in grabbing some. But this is this lovely royal blue color, and I think it's going to make really nice pants. It's definitely opaque, you can't see through it at all, but it's lightweight, it's crispy, it's kind of silky, and yeah, I'm really excited. I think these are going to be very comfortable, and while it is the middle of winter where I am located, I do think these are going to be really comfortable to wear around the house as well, and then when it gets to be a little bit warmer, they will be great with sandals and t-shirts, but for right now, I'm feeling inspired to make them despite the current temperatures, and I know that I will be able to wear them around the house as well. They're going to be really comfortable. Before I dive into cutting my fabric and sewing these pants, I do want to take a minute to say hello. If you're new here, my name's Rebecca. I love making videos about sewing and knitting, all things slow fashion, so if those are interests of yours as well, please do consider hitting that subscribe button below. Also, I wanted to mention that in addition to making these hand sewn and knit pieces for my wardrobe, something else that I have been kind of slowly adding into my wardrobe is high quality, beautiful jewelry. And I want to take a moment to thank Luisa for sending me a few pieces to share with you today.
Luisa is a New York-based jewelry brand that specializes in affordable, high-quality pieces. Their jewelry is long-lasting, hypoallergenic, water-resistant, and sustainable. Pieces start at just $39, and the more you buy, the more you save. Luisa offer free and fast shipping within the USA. If you'd like to check them out, click the link in the description below, and be sure to use my code Rebecca10 for 10% off your first purchase. They have a beautiful selection of gold pieces as well as sterling silver, which I have today, and really there's something for everyone.
The pieces are really beautiful, they're really high quality, and I can sleep in it, I can shower in it, and I think it adds a really nice touch to the items in my wardrobe. So thank you again to Ana Luisa. Be sure to check out the discount code in the description box below. So the pattern that I'm planning on using to make my royal blue poplin pants is, I think I'm going to start with the Anna Allen Pomona pants. Now this is a pattern that I already own, and I think with minimal modification it will give me the result that I want. So the Pomona pants have a straight leg view and a wide leg view, and I'm going to be using the straight leg view. And I think the only mod that I'm going to need to make is to make the waistband quite a bit smaller. So I think there's room for like a 2-inch elastic, and I think I'm going to try and do maybe a 1-inch elastic or maybe even smaller. And I also plan to put 2 little buttonholes in the center front of the waistband, hopefully to feed through a drawstring, because I really like the look of having a drawstring tie with the poplin pants. I think it's a really nice touch, and so I'm gonna cut the pattern as is, and if I need to remove a little bit from the top, I can. But I'm also not opposed to having just a longer or a higher rise, because with the drawstring you can kind of adjust where they sit on your body. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut the fabric. And the Pomona pants are super easy to make. There's no side seam, so the front and back leg, it's all one piece basically. And yeah, they're really quick to sew up. I think this is gonna go well. I'm hoping there's enough fabric for a nice long drawstring, and yeah, let's go ahead and cut fabric.
As you can see here, the Anna Allen Pomona pants only come with one pattern piece. So that includes the front and back of the leg in one. There is no side seam. And this makes for a really straightforward, really quick construction. Also, at the top of the pants, the fabric needed for the waistband casing is included. You just fold it down. So this is a really great project for a beginner, and it goes relatively quickly. Once you've made it before, you can make these honestly in an hour or 2. So it's a really good, quick and easy project. You begin by sewing the front and the back seam, so the 2 fronts together and the 2 backs together, and then you'll finish these raw edges with either a zigzag stitch, or if you happen to have a serger, with an overlock stitch, and this just makes it so that the fabric doesn't unravel over time. The pattern instructions do say to top stitch the front and back seams down, but because these are a cotton poplin pant, I didn't want to have any extra top stitching on the outside of the garment, so I will not be doing that step. And then after you've sewn basically the center front and center back seam of the pants, you sew together the inseam. So you start by matching up the front and back at the center crotch seam, and then I like to start with the very bottom of the leg. There's a point kind of where my hands are now where you have to stretch the fabric a little bit near the crotch curve seam on like the inner thigh area to get everything to line up, and that's intentional. It's built into the pattern. So I like to start by lining up the very bottom of the pants so that I know that hem is going to be straight and even. I've found in the past that if I just go from that center crotch seam and then work my way out to the bottom of the leg, sometimes I'll forget to do that stretching bit that is required and built into the pattern, and then at the bottom of the leg, the hem is uneven. So I like to line up the bottoms first. I think it's really helpful. And then you do serge this long seam as well. So you can see here they're starting to look like pants. As I said, the Pomona pants come together really quickly. So all that is left to do now is to hem the pants and do the waistband casing. So here I'm actually going to start by hemming the pants, and I find having one of these tailor's hams to be really helpful in this particular task because you can slide the leg over the tailor's ham and then press up. I'm doing 1/2 inch here, and then I'll do an additional 1.5 inches. And by pressing that seam allowance in place before folding and pinning, it allows you to create a really clean, neat, finished hem. Everything's going to sit really straight without any twisting or warping, and I find this tool to be particularly helpful. I will say that if your machine has an area that can be removed, such as mine here, taking that piece off is also incredibly helpful when you're doing hems on pants or like a sleeve, because you can slide that whole piece into the machine and it makes it a lot easier to work with the fabric. So that's what I've done here, and I'm just going to go ahead and repeat this for the other leg as well, and then move on to the waistband.
So I thought it would be worth mentioning that typically the last thing that you do is hem the pants, but I went ahead and decided to hem them before doing the waistband. So I just turned under the hem at 1/2 inch and then 1.5 inches in addition. And the reason that I did that is because I'm still debating the waistband situation. So the pattern has 2.5 or 2 3/4 inch, something like that, at the top to accommodate that you fold it to the inside and then feed through like a 2-inch wide elastic. And I think I want to do a little bit more of a narrow channel, like maybe 1 inch, 1.5 inches. I'll have to check my elastic stash and see what I have. So I went ahead and hemmed the pants so that I can try them on, and I think I'll pin that like inch waistband casing and see where the rise of the pants is and like the inseam and everything, just to test it out. And then once I'm happy with the waistband casing amount, whether I have to trim some or not, I'll go ahead and stitch that down, feed the elastic through, and then make my drawstring. So yeah, I went ahead and hemmed the pants to try them on to figure out the waistband. Hopefully that makes sense.
So as you can see here, I did find some 1-inch elastic, and I tried the pants on with the waistband casing folded to accommodate it, and the fit is great. I do have a little bit of more room in the rise, which is really comfortable. And so I've just gone ahead and marked with pins here where I'm going to make buttonholes, and I'm making the buttonholes again to slide the drawstring through. So I'm only going to make them on that front piece of the pants, not through the whole waistband. And I'm using a 1/2 inch button to determine how big the buttonholes are going to be. I have an automatic buttonhole foot with this machine, which is the Singer Heavy Duty, and it makes buttonholes really, really simple. You just, like I said, put the button in, and that dictates the size that the machine will make. And that's it. And then you just have to take your seam ripper and rip open the inside of the buttonhole, and you're good to go. I also like to use a little bit of fray check, which is basically like a glue, and I try to be really light-handed with it. You don't want to use too much, but if you put just a little bit of the fray check on where you have opened up those buttonholes, it will prevent things from fraying in the future, especially with something like a drawstring that's going to have a lot of friction on those buttonhole areas. I thought this was an important step and hopefully will preserve the pants long term. So now that I've got those buttonholes made, I'm just stitching down the folded waistband to make the casing, and I've left a few inches at the center back open where I'm going to slide the elastic through. I like to clip the corners of my elastic. It just makes it easier to get it through that channel for the waistband, and I just use a safety pin to feed it through all the way around towards the center back again. And I generally give myself a few inches extra of elastic just because you want to be able to try the pants on and make sure that they're really comfortable. So here you can see I've left a few extra inches and I've pinned where I think I want it to be. And I'll try it on and make sure they're comfortable and then go ahead and clip that excess before closing in the waistband completely. So here I am making the drawstring. I did a quick Google search and the recommendation was to do twice the circumference of the waistband in drawstring length or to add about 30 inches. And so I did just that, and I basically folded a long strip of fabric in on itself twice like you would to make bias binding. I didn't want to fiddle with a loop turner for 60 some inches of drawstring, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out.
So I'm done with the pants. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever made poplin pants or pants out of a shirting fabric before. I think it's a really fun project and I'm excited to wear these both around the house but also in the warmer months. I think they're going to be a really great addition to my handmade wardrobe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to chatting with you in the next one really soon. If you made it to the end of this video, thanks so much. Please consider hitting that subscribe button below. And I think that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.